Wow, Zoom starts a lot easier here than it starts in the office. So I'm going to record this. We'll see how it goes because I haven't done an EdPuzzle training before. So you are my first victims. Yay! It's so good on a Tuesday morning. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I am about 80 minutes ahead of you. How do you like that for a real answer, right? And some of you have already used it. You may already be 80 minutes with me. Good morning, Erica. It's not too hard. And I made a couple changes. I made a slide deck, which we will use, that'll kind of follow along. And as soon as we're done, I'm going to push it out to all of you so you have it. You can access it as well. It's really hard to say. All right. So here we go. I'm going to pop into that right off the bat. And I'm going to take you all the way up to the top, not the red slide to start with. So Erica, who's also here in the training with us, helped set up this session. I know I'm not sharing yet. Just trying to make sure I got everybody in. Yay. All right, let me share my screen and we'll be good to go. Fantastic. All right, can everybody see my screen? Fantastic. All right, so I sent directions in the email link this morning or yesterday, excuse me, about the 2 ways to log in. So if you already have an account, you can log in with the top set of directions and then grab the SRK-12. And if you haven't, you come down to the bottom and you join. And it's really, really important that you pick your school and you have to pick the building you're in. So I think like I grabbed the middle school. They grabbed an extra license, so I would have one. So I'm logged in and my account is going to totally replicate yours. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to type in EdPuzzle. And I'm hoping it hasn't logged me in. And if it did, I'm going to log out really quickly. Of course it did. And I'm going to log out and I'm going to walk you through the process so you can see it. So you'll come in. The first time you're going to come in, you're going to sign up. You go through the process. I'm just going to log in. It's going to ask you one of the two things. Are you a teacher or are you a student? I'm a teacher. Pretty easy, right? So now it is linked to your Google accounts. So you just click on Google and you pick the account you want to log in. I'm actually going to log in with my Salmon River account. So once you've created the account, it's linked to your school account. And then you will have a screen that looks like this. It's going to look a little different the first time in because yours will be totally blank, right? Yours will be blank like this one. This is a mini one with a video in it. Okay, so once you're in and you have this, we're just going to do the layout really quickly so you kind of understand what's here. First thing you see is content. You obviously see that I have content in there. Down the side, so content is your own stuff that you've put in there. You may have nothing to start with. You have the home, which looks like this, kind of shows what's trending in other places. When you first go in, it's going to ask you your grade level and it's going to ask you your content area. Don't get too worried about that because you can jump around grade levels and you can jump around content areas. So if you're a special educator, you can add more than one. I think I put like 6, 7, 8, K, 3, 5, 12 in mine. So you can kind of jump all over the place. And I just put different content. You can search anything. What that does is it gives you a focus. Then you have curriculum. So whatever your curriculum was, it's going to pull you into that. You can go into a grade level. You can go in and look. What you'll also see is that all of the videos that are created in the district are held here together. So you can see that there's some other things that are in here that other people have done. Jen Hutchins has used it a little bit. Aaron has, you can see there's my Grinch Who Stole Christmas session that I created. Then my own content sits here. And then you have other things down the side that you can also use. So EdPuzzles, the one, like anything that's already in here, any of the other videos that you can pull from other places. Plus you have the ability to copy and paste any URL up here into this search box. That's going to be that red slide that you saw that was the beware. This is where it goes. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end. That's the hardest part because it's not intuitive. I searched and searched and searched for it and had to go through a training, a certification thing to find that answer. So the basic layout's pretty easy to follow. So I'm going to go back into it, and I'm probably going to stray from the presentation now. So we're going to come in and you're going to pick a video. So I'm just going to go to YouTube, and I am going to look for, you see that it's like YouTube inside of EdPuzzle, right? So there's lots of things in here. I'm just going to look for something Christmassy, Christmas. And it doesn't really matter what I look for. I'll take this one. I don't even know what it is. Something short, a Christmas video. So we have this Christmas video. You guys your heads are in the way. I'm going to try to get rid of you. Not really rid of you, I need you out of the way. There we go. So you'll see once I'm in here, I have this sidebar down the side, and I can just play it. I could see what's in here. Oh, great. Literally, guys, I just picked one. So random, right? I picked a really short one. Okay, it's not really school appropriate, but it's going to work for now. So first thing we see, you have a sign, but all I have right now is a video. I can copy or I can edit. What I really want to do is I want to edit it. I want to push something out. So I'm going to edit the video. And you'll see, as soon as I come into edit mode, I have options, right? I'm going to pull that out of the way. I can cut it. So I can cut pieces of the video out. I can voice over, which basically means I can run a video that I like. I don't like what the other people are saying, and I can use the content of it so I can totally speak over one, which is really nice. So I have the ability to use anyone else's, and then I can put questions in. So cutting is we can snip it into pieces. So if you find a 25-minute video and you want 3 minutes at the beginning, you can take the 3 minutes at the beginning and remove the rest. Voiceover, we don't want to hear what's happening in this Bible video, so I can literally just voice over it. And then I can go in and I can put questions. So there are 3 kinds of questions that you can add. Multiple choice, pretty easy. Open-ended, what did you think about? Multiple choice are going to be easy for the students, right? Open-ended is going to give them more ability to give more of a dialogue to you. And you can also add notes into them. I'm going to actually go out of this one. I'm going to pick a different video because I'm feeling a little wigged out about grabbing this one. We're going to do descriptive as narrative. There we go. That makes me feel a little better. Okay, so I'm in here. So quite honestly, I know nothing about what's in this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it. It's only 18 seconds. It's not going to take too long.
Writing is a piece of writing that tells one person's perspective on a story, experience, or idea. Within the word narrative comes the word narration. A narrative writing is a piece of narration.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there.
A descriptive writing is talking
I'm going to try to stop right there. So you can see that she has text up there, but she just added a little bit of information, right? Narrative comes from what word? So I'm going to actually write my students a question about that. I'm going to click right here into questions. I'm going to ask them a multiple choice question. And you can see I can just type it in. So this is pretty easy so far, right? Nobody's lost with me at this point, right? I'm going to write narrative comes from what word? Question. Your correct answer is going to go here, obviously, with the green check mark. Pretty easy. Narration. Narratonia, which is not a word, but I'm going to make it up today because it sounds like fun. Narratonin, you see right here, I only have 2 options, but I can add more. Add another answer choice, right? Narrativo. Okay, really, I'm kind of pulling here, guys, you know. You can also have more than one right answer. You can just click the green box. So if you want them to be more than one right answer, I like that option, right? So you can have those as options. All right, so this one's all done. And I'm just going to save it. And it says tip, these will be graded automatically. Ooh, huge bonus, right? So you're just going to make sure you want more. If you have more than one right answer, you can have that. So save. Now, you'll see what happens is I get a little teardrop underneath it, right? So there's a little teardrop down here that shows that there's a question. So I'm just going to play a little bit more.
A narrative writing is a piece of narration. A descriptive writing is
So let's say
tasted.
I really could be going all the way through this.
Descriptive essays let our readers have the emotions, the feeling.
I probably picked one of the absolute worst videos. Take two to pick, but you can guide it along, and I can say in here, ooh, so here's one on descriptive writing, right? So I might put in here, you notice you really should watch the whole video, right? Not just pick and choose where you're going, but so in here, I'm going to play and I'm going to stop and I'm going to put an open-ended question. Provide an example of a metaphor. And I'm going to save it. So students will have to come in and put a metaphor in here, right? And you'll see, provide an example of a metaphor. Now, teacher is going to have to grade this because it's an open-ended question. Every question answer could be different. All right, so continue.
We're comparing things. We're giving inanimate objects human-like qualities, and we're making our paper and our writing come to life.
So I'm going to stop right here.
Comparison of two.
I'm going to put a multiple choice question. I'm going to personification. I might have them, an example of personification is, and I could put multiple choice questions in here again. So choose an example of personification. And I could write those, not personification, personification. Yep, right? So then I can put those examples in here. Happy as rain. I don't really think that is really good one. And that might be a wrong answer. You guys, I'm not good at this. Dumb as a brick wall. That might work well for me today. Right? Because that's my correct answer. And I'm going to save it. Okay, so two of them. Right. You know, just it is what it is. You can see every time I put a new question is I get these little bubbles in, right? So I'm just going to continue. I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to put a note in. So a note, actually, when you put a note is you can add more information to the video as it's going by. So a notes pop up on the sidebar with more info. And you notice you can also put some more things in here. It doesn't have to just be like text. I can add a picture in here. So if I wanted to put a picture in as well, you can use an URL of a picture or you can upload your own picture, which is kind of cool. So let's go and look and see. Sure, we'll just put this picture in just because it's very random. Yeah, I'm going to have to remember to remove this because this is not anything I'm going to want in here because nobody's going to be able to use this one. Okay, I'm just going to use that one right there, open, and I'm going to say, okay, be patient, the leprechauns. So it's a huge picture. It's fine, right? So there's a picture that's all set and you'll see it's going to work its way around. Okay, so let's just say I'm done. Let's say for the sake of having it finished, I'm done. All right, so now I'm going to go back out into my content. And now when I look at my content, I should see this one, which we're definitely going to get rid of. When you come in here, you'll see the one that I created, this one, and the one I created before. We're going to actually look at the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, right? So as you kind of play this one, you'll see I have four different stopping points, right? And this one, as we stop it, we're going to watch what it looks like. So first question I asked, like right smack in is who wrote this story, right? And you'll see what it looks like for a student. They can rewatch it. They could skip it. You can actually turn this function off for your students so they can't skip questions, which like, I think that's a great option, right? They have to literally go through it, but they can rewatch the section. So if you have your questions spaced out, they can go back and rewatch a section and get the questions in there pretty easy. So I'm going to just write Dr. Seuss, submit. You'll see what I get. It's going to go to the next one. Continue. Okay, or anyway, you get the idea, right? As you work your way through and you get through all the questions, like here's the next question. So you can see this is what it looks like. And this is a way for you to kind of check the ones that are in here. Now, Can you take other content? You absolutely can. You can take other people's content, you can drop it in, and you can edit their content, which is really a great option for using this. And I highly recommend you do that for about a week. Play with it a little bit, use somebody else's content, edit theirs, run with it, and then you're comfortable. Easy enough. So let's go. I'm going to kind of just book my way through the training pieces so I can look, see what's in here. So I went through edit mode. Like, you're going to find a video, you're going to edit it to add your own questions, and then you're going to assign and push it to Google Classroom. And I'm going to show you that process of how to do it. I went through the edits. There's the 3 options for your questions, like how to go in and share it, how to change it, right? It's pretty easy. When you're all done, you click the finish button at the top. That's why I'm going to give you the video. Not the video, the slide deck. It'll be easier once you have the slide deck and the pieces. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add a class, because what's really nice about EdPuzzle is you have the ability to push this out to your students right through your Google Classroom. I'm moving your heads out of the way. So this is a little, I think, not super intuitive. It's got a lot of steps to it, and I'm going to try to go backwards and see if I can do it. So I'm going to add a class, right? And nope, not going to go this. And you don't have to do this. It will pop up like this. So the first time I go through, it walks me through setting it up. Now, don't freak out about this, because I'm going to show you where to find the resources that are going to help you with this. EdPuzzle has its own certification process. So that sounds like it's really rough, right? It's 40 minutes, and they use little EdPuzzle videos to take you through EdPuzzle. So you watch a little video, you stop it, they ask you a question. It literally took me 30 minutes. So, and it's really good. I'm going to show you the one to take that's just for Google Classroom. That will walk you through it very, very easily. So the first one, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to connect my LMS, and it's going to pull all of the classrooms that I am associated with. So these are the Google Classrooms that I'm associated with. I have more than this. These are the only ones I pulled through. So let's say I'm going to do 3rd grade. Okay, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to click that one, and I think there is a plus sign over here. It should pop up over here. It might not. I think because I don't have my whole screen, I can't see the whole thing. You can pick them all when you first come in. I didn't want to pick them all because I'm actually a co-teacher in some people's classrooms. I didn't want to push assignments to people. I didn't think they would love it if I pushed Dr. Seuss, Mr. Grinch assignments out to them. So for example, so now I have this one. So here's my late speak class that I have people in. And you can see I have all of these pieces in here. I have nothing that's due. I have no due date. I have no classroom. So nothing is in here, right? So let's say I want to push this assignment to them. What I've done first is I've linked my classrooms together. That's the first thing that goes through. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to go back out to my content. I'm going to go and so these are like 2 separate steps. I build it. Once I have all my connections made, this will be much easier. Does that make sense? You kind of have to build your area, then you can push them out. Once we are in here, sorry, I have to go to my content. I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to assign it. So I'm going to stop right here. So Nancy is probably teaching more than one math class, right, Nancy? Teaching math? Am I right? Give me a, she's like, I'm thinking, yep, yes, that's all I need. Perfect, thank you. So she's teaching more than one math class. In our heads, using Google Classroom, we can push this assignment to every classroom, right? That's what makes sense to us. When I make an assignment, typically, I push it out to all my classes at once. I can do that, not in EdPuzzle. Here, this is probably going to be the biggest mistake people will make. In EdPuzzle, you have to assign individually because every video gets a different link, okay? So period 1 will have one link, period 2 will have another link, period 3 will have another link, period 4 will have another link, okay? And that's for grading purposes. They want, and so when a student can't get it the right way, they've either gotten the wrong link to their classroom that they're not assigned in. So the kids from third period shared it to the sixth period kids, and they can't take it because they're not a student in that classroom. They won't be able to see it. That's the biggest error that typically happens. So I'm going to assign this. And it comes in, it says, okay, so now you can see it's already turned on. Like, here's my class. I could have multiple classes, but I need to assign them one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to do this, assign. So now I'm just going to come down the side. I'm going to go through all the little boxes. So do I want the start date to be today? I could change also the time if I wanted, right? As soon as you click on the box, it gives you options. I'm going to give it a due date. I'm going to make the due date tomorrow. I don't know if you can change the times. I think they're just stuck in there, and it might be down below. Look at that down below. I just can't see it because my screen is too large. All right, so you can come down and you can change the time right there. Click. Yep, try that again, Virginia. Click in here, due date tomorrow. I can change the time. 11:59 is never a good time for anybody. Just kind of a heads up. It just isn't, because if you give them to 11:59, they're going to do it 11:58. So think about that. Think about their social emotional, right? It's better for them to have a due date that's either within a school day or, you know, relatively close to it. So I'm going to save that. Now, here's the trick. Preventing skipping is not necessarily turned on. You have to turn it on. So if you just work your way through, I click assign, I work my way down, it will very quickly work its way through. You can also turn on closed captioning, which I really like. You can automatically turn it on for all your students, so you can have them reading along, and then you're going to post it to Classroom. So I'm going to have post to Classroom, and then I'm going to assign it. I'm going to go through those steps one more time. All right. They're not that hard. You're going to come in. This will be unchecked when you come in. Actually, I will just close out of this. We'll go again. I'm on my content. I have it all built. I'm going to click assign. It's going to say, which one of my classrooms do I want to assign it to? I'm going to click the first one, and then I'm going to work my way through the boxes. Today sounds good. It's due tomorrow. I will pick a time. 7:59 always works for me. I will save that. I will turn my prevent skipping on. I've already turned that on. I think once you turn it on for one class, for that class, it stays on, but you just want to work your way through. I am going to turn on my closed captions, and I'm going to post on my Google Classroom. And then I'm going to tell it to assign. You can also, you see there's a later option. That's equivalent of scheduling, so you can save them. So I'm just going to push this assign, turn it on. All right. So once I'm done, it takes this and it pushes out, and you'll see this is the screen that you get. This is available to you within EdPuzzle, not available within Google Classroom. So I think that's going to be part of those kind of pieces. You have some options in here, and I didn't go into all of these in the training, but you can share an assignment. You can have the assignment go live. I love this one. A student does really poorly on it. You can actually reset the student progress on it, which I think is great. You also can download your grades. So these are some more detailed options that are in there. I'm not as worried about those kind of things. I think the first thing is get in, use it, make some of your own, push it into a classroom, all of those pieces. Once your students are in here, once you are going through and you are setting up this, the biggest question that's going to happen is this screen right here. When you're setting up your Google Classroom, it is going to say to you, do you have parental consent for your students to use EdPuzzle? EdPuzzle is covered under your AUP, okay? So that's your acceptable use policy. It's a software used by the district. So you're going to be able to say, yes, my student can consent on behalf of parents as per local law. The local law is the AUP, right? Does that make sense? I don't want you to get stuck here. Or I have signed parent consent forms. In New York State, I think we use they don't want it, so they can consent out, right? So you're going to be able to hit that and hit continue, work your way through. And then you go through, you'll pick your account. Even though you're signed in, it's going to ask you which account you want to grab your Google Classrooms from. So you'll just go through that process. You click the ones you want to add. You'll see you may have to connect your LMS. You'll have all this, so no worries. You'll just click the boxes you want to use it with. Then when you're in, you'll have, this is the next screen I'm going to show you. So the main thing when you're in EdPuzzle is like, don't freak out. Try with one. Don't try with 60, try with one, right? Start with one. You notice that I picked like a Dr. Seuss one. Do something fun, kind of push it to your kids, let them try something fun. I wouldn't over inundate them either with, I wouldn't put like 30, 40, 50 questions in one. That's kind of overwhelming. Pick some of the highlights, mix them up, go back and forth. So in here, when you're in this, the way to get to the resources, you're going to click in to your head, so your avatar, which is your circle in the top right corner. And if you go into the certifications area, I highly recommend, it's going to say, what one are you? Of course, you're a teacher. You're going to go into the teacher certifications, that you take this one right here. I lied, it's 45 minutes. Okay. So I did it in 30. I have taken EdPuzzle 1 and EdPuzzle on Google Classroom Level 1. You don't need this one. Okay. Don't take EdPuzzle Level 1. Take this one. And I did mark that on the screen right here, right? Take that one. You don't need this one. That's going to help you. And what it's going to walk you through is it's going to walk through setting up your Google Classroom. It's going to do exactly what I did, little bit of a review. Like I said, it's 3 modules. So it's like part 1, part 2, part 3, and they each have 3 pieces. And it's, they put you into a Google Classroom to take it. It's very easy to do. And the videos are about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes long each. So you can even do it in little snippets. I got 1.5 minutes here. I can do a little bit now. I can do a little bit later. It's very easy. At the each one, the quizzes, the question basically give you a score. So it's not very hard, I promise. I'm on my way to work through the next couple. That's one of the things I'm going to do today. I'm going to work on these to kind of work on them. It's an easy piece to use. The question will typically become, after you use it for a while, I'm going to do another training, more detailed. So some of the other ways you can do that, but I wanted to give you the beginning sessions in this. So I'm going to stop sharing questions. Easy enough? Pretty easy? Simple, easy? Yes? Comfortable finding something that you can use, kind of just look through the curriculum. Fine, let me show you one more thing I did forget to share you quickly. Let me go back out, forgot. My biggest question was, how do I take a video I already want, right? I want to use a video that I already have. So I'm going to go back to EdPuzzle, which will take you home. This will bring you to the home. Let's say I'm out on YouTube. So I'm going to go out onto YouTube and I'm going to find a video that I really want to use. And my question was like, I couldn't figure out, because there's no intuitive way to find one. Oh, look at this. I'm going to use Taco Tuesdays for Marianne. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to stop that right there. Okay, so let's say I want to use this one. And you'll see I have a button. I installed the extension for EdPuzzle. And this is how it would work. But I can also copy the link, right? I click the share and just copy the link. I go back into EdPuzzle, which is up here, and I'm going to paste the link in that search box. I have no idea why it works like that. It's not intuitive at all. I searched and tried to find it, and as soon as I do that, I have the ability to edit that content. So this is a big box to remember, because I tried to do like 6 or 7 different things, nothing worked. And I finally found that. Now I have the ability to go in and I can write questions around that video right there. So any video that you want to find in YouTube, you can find, you can pull in, and you can do it that way. Okay. Questions. Stop sharing. It's not hard at all, right? Easy, easy. Hardest thing is getting your account set up, and even that's easy. And then work from there. Okay, so I'm available pretty much throughout the day. If you need me, shoot me an email. You'll notice in my signature, you can also schedule a time to work with me. That's still in there. Feel free to schedule that. If I'm not available, you'll see that it doesn't pop up in the day. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll be here to help. I'll stay for a few minutes. Thanks, everybody.